Greetings. Hello. Thank you for joining me today and for your presence. I like to say that. I like your presence. I like knowing that whenever you watch this video, we will be together in the eternal now. I just love that multidimensionality of life here. I love learning. It's so fun to take on new concepts and new ideas to add to your understanding of this great mystery of living on this planet. I love this time where all of the things that were hidden are now coming into the light, the truth about our history and about what actually happened and about it's just such a thrill. And I hope that you're enjoying it too. I hope that you're able to discover new things every single day that you can add to your knowing. So I am coming to you today with a slight sinus headache. So anyway, I don't know why I had to share that. I think it's some excuse of why this broadcast isn't going to be perfect. It's so busted. I've been writing this morning and writing down the things that I appreciate and that I'm thankful for. And one thing that I'm thankful for today is that I can make these YouTube videos without having any clue what I'm going to talk about before them, and know that all is well and that the perfect words will pop out of my mouth that you need to hear today when you're listening, the day that you are here. I am also thankful that Source just can flow through me in this way. It's a little bit, it's the strangest mix of knowing that it's real and also thinking, is it really real? Like, it's strange, and I think that it's probably, not a lot of people have pure faith. Like, I don't know, maybe some people do. Maybe the saints that have been on the planet have had this pure knowing that they are the divine, that the divine is in every single cell of their body and every the magnitude of it is just pretty astounding when you finally get it, that every single hair on your head is pure source energy. Every single microscopic atom that makes up this entire being is pure source energy, and that it's alive and that it's vibrating, all vibrating in perfect divine harmony. A few years back, I started a practice of, I've been wanting to share this with you for a few days. I started the practice of closing my eyes and visualizing every single cell in my body as being the light of Source, the light that's brighter than 1,000 suns. So I started to imagine every single atom, every single cell, every single molecule, every tiny little microscopic little deal as being that full of that light. And that light just shining out from me, and that light going within each atom and cell and molecule and healing, keeping it healthy and lit up. I started practicing that, and yeah, I like to recommend that to people because it just feels good. You feel like you're healthy. You feel like you're shining. And I'm not going to make any claims about my health or about anything like that. Yet it hasn't hurt me any to do this practice. And I'm pretty much a minimalist. I mean, I have my self-care rituals for sure. One is bathing in Epsom salt. And that started, I've been doing it for years. Excuse me. And I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago, back in 2019, I started amping that up. In fact, I took one every single day, I think, of 2019. It really helped me to go through the planetary shift. So that's one of my self-care things. Another one is using 0 to 5% chemicals. There's one chemical that I have in the house and I use, and it's stain remover, which I don't know. I'm going to think about letting it go and trying to find a natural stain remover. So I suffer guilt on that product. Oh, and bleach. I use bleach. And occasionally I use silver polish. Other than that, pretty much I live pretty clean as far as chemicals, ingesting chemicals, and I don't ingest chemicals. I don't ingest artificial. Okay, this is a caveat. I do ingest some natural flavor, and that's on my list of things to 86. I just went through a whole pound of Harney's chocolate tea. I've been drinking that tea since I was maybe in my 20s. On and off. I hadn't been drinking it for that many years, but I just recently remembered it and ordered some. I think I ordered 8 ounces. And then I ordered a pound. And I'm on my last little bit. This is a cup of Harney's chocolate tea with coconut milk. And I'm not going to order it again. I'm so tempted because I probably have that much tea left in the jar, maybe like that much. So maybe like 2 more cups of it, and then I'm done. I have to. It's a lot. That's drinking a lot of chemicals. Natural flavor is an excitotoxin, which is super bad for your brain. It's what aspartame is, and there's a few other. I'm sure there's tons of excitotoxins, but natural flavor, that's what's in all the flavored waters, like that one that everybody drinks. Oh, LaCroix. That's natural flavor. Almost all teas in boxes have natural flavors. I have so many boxes of tea. So yeah, any sort of chemical substance that you can eliminate from your body right now is a really good idea as far as the ascension of our physical beings goes. planning on fasting soon. So pretty soon I won't be drinking my tea as I'm making these videos. That's a huge topic for me. It's a priority. That's one of my self-care priorities, is what I put into my body. And there are times when I go, I'm putting this in my body, even though I know I shouldn't, or that it's not for my highest good. I've been rebellious. And it's been a process, One of my most helpful things that I've done is to set New Year's resolutions. And I've been gifted with a really strong will. And so once I set that, I'm stubborn about it. I mean, I don't think I've ever set a New Year's resolution and been perfect. I think one of my New Year's resolutions a few years ago was no alcohol, which I was perfect on. That was cool. And one year I did no television, no movies, no TV or movies, which I'm thinking about starting on January 1st. No movies on DVD. White sugar and white flour. I did that 1 year, took a year off, and the year off I barely ate any of it. I just wasn't attracted to it anymore. And then the following year I did no sugar, white flour. And it sounds like a nightmare to do that, but what's true is you stop craving it. Like now, I look at sugar products as kind of like plastic. Like it's like almost like, oh, that's not even edible. I'm not saying this to toot my own horn. I'm just saying this that it's possible to eliminate processed gunk, chemicals, big food from your diet. It's totally possible. And what's really cool is you truly do stop wanting it. In fact, when I go to the grocery store, when I walk through the aisles, like to get to the front of the store, sometimes I'll just haphazardly go through the cereal aisle. Oh my gosh, there are so many boxes of cereal in that aisle that are just, it's monstrous what's in those boxes. It's monstrous. And I'm very opinionated on this subject, and I have to be careful. The big, like, big food, big pharma, big whatever, big chemical, big sugar, those are some badass those people are, I don't think they're organic humans. But I was just thinking about that this morning. Somebody I was listening to yesterday was talking about organic humans versus, I suppose, non-organic humans, which is AI, and it got me thinking about it. And then I started to wonder, like, are AI, do they not have a soul? Do they not have a soul? Are they not worth loving? That just opened up a huge philosophical subject matter topic. Like, what? It's a mystery. And when I get to these points in thought of like, oh my gosh, what are we supposed to do with it? With AI, with beings that perhaps are not actually human, they don't have a soul. I mean, is that true? It's freaky. So, personally, when I start to, when I get to the point of just going like, what the fuck is even going on here? Like, I start to spiral out into like fear or just mind blown type of thing. Then I'll bring myself back. Oh, Muggy wants to come in. I'm gonna have to get up. but I don't want to stop the video, so I'm going to take you with me. Let's go let Mugwort into the house. Let's go, let's go. Here he is. Muggy! All right. Good, that was a great interruption. So, the reason why I'm on YouTube right now making these videos is to talk about meditation and all of the wonderful things that come from having a meditation practice. It's really easy to get distracted and stop being in the heart center. And that's something to just gird yourself. Not really against, but be aware that once you leave the heart center and go into fear center, which is root chakra, which is not feeling safe, being in fear and in anxiety. Once you get to that point, then and you recognize that, which is super awesome. That's one of the greatest things about meditation, is when you meditate, you start to be aware of your thoughts, and you can recognize, like I can recognize right now that like my heart's pumping a little bit. I get into that fear space. And so I think for me, going into the heart is what grounds me, rather than going into the root. Going into the heart and opening the heart's door, like in your mind's eye. I like to imagine that I'm inside my body, standing outside of my heart, and that my heart has an actual door. And when I can get to that point of actually standing there looking at the door, then I can open the door and I go in. It's not like I walk in, it's like I'm swept in. And then I'm in there, and then I feel safe. I feel like I'm home, and I feel like I'm loved, and I feel like I'm worthy. So I like to recommend going into the heart space, because it's just like, okay, brings you back to square one, where you may have never even been. See, that's the thing. Like when we take birth, we're in that place, we're worthy. And then almost a second after we take birth, come on up. After the wind of birth, we're in a place of getting all of our information from our parents, and who are getting all their information from their parents and their church and television and radio, and on and on and on. And so basically you just are dropped into a program. And I feel like right now, in this time, we're in a place we've never been before. We're in a place where we are now seeing the program, and we're now creating a new program, one that's coming from the heart. So I like to encourage people to sit every day for 20 minutes in a comfortable chair or on the floor in a comfortable position, with your spine nice and straight. Your belly, let go of your belly, let your shoulders drop. Close your eyes and start to breathe, and just start to follow your breath inside your nose, outside your nose, in your nose, out your nose. And focus on a sound. That helps. That helps a lot, actually, to focus on a sound like a heater or a clock or just whatever you can Like right now I can hear the clock ticking, and that's what I hear when I meditate. And sometimes I hear the heater too. So, and just let your mind slow down. Let your thoughts come and go. just don't hold on to them. Just let them come and go. Come and go. And after maybe 10 minutes, then you start to really feel your connection and your connection to your inner being, which is source, pure source energy. And that's what I liken to plugging into a charging dock. And what's true is it doesn't really matter how many minutes you're in that pure plugged in connection, even just 1 minute or 2 minutes or 10 seconds can be enough. So it's just practicing getting into the place that you can make that connection. And I'd love to hear about your, whether you agree with me or not, if that's, you need to have your spine straight, and if you need to do this and do that. I think everyone's got their own way for sure. This is just the way that I was taught that has worked wonders for me. So, yeah. I learned yesterday from a trusted source on the internet that from the 2nd of December to the 17th of December is when the moon is in the 13th sign of Theicus, I think it's called. And that the element of Theicus is ether, so the element will be very strong during this period of time, and that it's a really, really good time to, she said, to meditate for an hour and just be in union, and to be outside and just be in the ether and inside. It's really everywhere. But to be in nature and just be outside and really, so I'm gonna do it. I'm so glad I remembered it. I wrote it down, so maybe I would have found that piece of paper, but so much going on. Anyway, I'm gonna do it. I did it last night. I just sat and connected with Source. I mean, some call it prayer. I think meditation is a form of prayer. It's just a form of opening and letting Source in and letting Source out and in and out. Being in the presence of, being cognizant of the actual connection. So, thank you. Thank you for listening to my rambly rambles, and for connecting. If you feel like connecting with me, I'd love to. I would absolutely love to connect with you. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. I'd appreciate that. It would really make my day to have someone, to have you here to join me. I'd like to have a dialogue. It'd be really fun. May the rest of your day and night be completely and totally prospered. May you stay connected with Source. May you vibrate at the highest frequency that's humanly possible. May you smile, knowing that you're safe and completely and totally adored by Source. Cry when you want to cry, laugh when you want to laugh. Just be, that's enough. It's all that we can do. That's what we came here to do. Is to be in connection, to be one. I appreciate you. I honor you. I honor the Source within you. And the Source within me recognizes and honors the Source within you. Much love and peace.